Seriously? Again?
Well, that was a good punch to the old ball bag. And the Anaheim Ducks dropped game 2 to Cam Talbot. Edmonton, 2-1. And what honestly can you say about the game other than Ducks fans didn't even get a chance to take a seat and take a sip of their beer before Edmonton got on the board right away, started by a Connor McDavid rush up the ice. Now, I'm going to get a lot of heat for this probably because I know everyone loves this guy and advanced stats, point to him being pretty solid. But fuck off, Josh Manson. Seriously, I am sick and tired of him putting hit first before the play. Exhibit A, the first goal of the game by Sekera. Connor McDavid's leaving the rush up the ice, and Manson goes for the hit, puts him up against the board, doesn't even fucking acknowledge the puck, and instead, the puck gets right over to Sekera at the point, who rips it through. An easy goal, 1-0 right off the bat. And I know Josh Manson does a lot of good for this team. I'm not denying that, but how many times are you going to get burned like this? I have seen this countless times from Manson over the years. He never, ever puts the play first. All he cares about is putting in that hit, which I get. You want to be physical. You want to be authoritative. You want to make your presence known, but not at the expense of giving up a solid opportunity for the opposing team. And Connor McDavid, who was pretty much silent in Game 1, started off Game 2 pretty strong. He had a lot of opportunities to score, including, like I mentioned, in the first opening goal, leading the rush down the ice and creating that opportunity. The Ducks held him off the score sheet for the game, but again, his presence was felt. It didn't look like the Kessler line was really as dominant on him as previously in Game 1. Cam Talbot was a monster in Game 2, pulling off some Pekka Rinne 2016 magic where he just took over the game. It was Cam Talbot's game, and the Ducks really couldn't do anything to respond. They threw everything at him. I mean, it's not like they just sat there and did nothing. They threw everything and the kitchen sink at him. And give him credit. He was making stops. The defense was there. They weren't allowing a lot of Ducks up in front of the net. They were clearing the pucks out. I mean, fuck. Now, in the second period, again, what we were talking about in Game 1, penalties, limit the penalties, and that will give us a much better opportunity to win the game. Apparently, Corbinian Holzer didn't hear that message. He commits a stupid penalty, which leads to an Edmonton power play. It all starts with Jordan Eberle leading the rush up the ice. He decides to take it in from the point down low and just puts it on net. And it goes off of, guess who? Patrick Maroon. So at this point, I'm just done. The wind got knocked out of my sail. I'm just... And that Maroon goal honestly felt like the biggest kick to the balls. The Ducks were doing everything right, and yet they get rewarded with the goal. It's just... Come on! Now down 2-0, the Ducks pretty much threw everything again at Talbot. He was actually looking a little bit rocky going after the pucks out of the net. So a few opportunities the Ducks could have capitalized on, but didn't, unfortunately. But they kept on the attack. The Ducks finally break through in the second with the Jakob Silfverberg power play goal. It all started with Kessler winning the faceoff and kicking it back off to Fowler, who stick handled a little bit and bought some time and found space for Silfverberg to be able to get that shot off. So that finally got some life into me. I was happy. I was excited. And with the way the Ducks had been playing the game, I'm like, all right, it's just one goal. We can get one more. We can get two more. We can win this game. And the third period is pretty much the same as the first and second. The Ducks dominating. They did everything they could. Just nothing was going in. Fowler hit 2 posts in the third. And I'm just sitting there like, what the hell does it take to get a win? What do we have to do to get the puck in the net? And everybody, the forecheck was strong. Perry was playing a physical game. Getzlaf was out there doing everything he's been doing all series long. And it's just, come on, man. Why can't we win? And then in the final 3 minutes or so of the game, the Ducks couldn't even enter the Edmonton zone. I mean, it was mind-boggling at how awful the Ducks were looking at that point. But with the empty net, the Ducks did manage to get a couple of grade A scoring opportunities. And Talbot just pretty much stood on his head and just smacked the puck out of the way Get the hell out of my house. So the Ducks are back in familiar territory, dropping the first 2 games at home and now hit the road, hoping to even it up. As you guys remember, last year they did the same thing. Nashville came into Honda Center, took the first 2 games in convincing fashion. Pecorine dominated those games. Again, Cam Talbot doing the same in Game 2. And then, as we all know, in 2014 against the Kings, they came into Honda Center and took the first 2 games. And then Anaheim followed suit and won the 2 next games at Staples. Now, is that going to happen again? Who the hell knows? Honestly, I don't know. The Ducks are doing what they need to do. They're playing good hockey. It's just not that, they're not getting the luck right now. And it sucks. Now I know how Calgary felt in the first round. Because, a lot of people say Calgary outplayed the Ducks at certain points. And they were in the game every time. So, maybe we're finally getting a little bit of karma back at us for that. Who knows? What I do know, though, is statistically, this has to turn around at some point. You don't just put up these numbers and lose a series. The Ducks outshot Edmonton 40-23, 64-36 on the faceoffs, out-hit them 32-25, which a little closer than Game 1. But God, what do we have to do to get a win? It honestly feels like a broken record at this point where the Ducks come up short. I hope they prove us wrong. I hope they go into Edmonton Sunday and Wednesday and just flat out dominate and shove their foot right up Edmonton's ass. I think the funniest part overall of Game 2 was that it was a former Duck, Patrick Maroon, who ends up getting the game-winning goal. That seems like such a Duck thing to happen, right? I don't know. This just feels like a game where I woke up this morning feeling hungover, and I didn't even have a drink last night. That's how bad this one feels. Now on to the 3 stars of the game. Coming in at number 3, we're going Jakob Silfverberg, who picked up the only Ducks goal on the power play in Game 2. Solid game overall on the forecheck. He had a lot of opportunities, just couldn't bury the puck in. But he was all over the ice, and it was good to see. Hopefully, again, he can build off of that and give the Ducks better chances in Game 3. And second star of the game goes to Nugent Hopkins, who picked up an assist on the Maroon goal. Nugent Hopkins was everywhere. He hit a couple of posts in the game. He had a lot of grade A opportunities. He was all over the ice. And hell of a game from him. And the top star of the game goes to Cam Talbot. Shocking. He picked up 39 saves in the Game 2 win. Pretty much stood on his head. Did everything he needed to do. Wasn't giving up a lot of grade A chances. He was sucking up the rebounds. He wasn't really giving up anything. Great game from him. Sometimes that just happens. You have to keep your head up, move on, and hope you can rebound in the next game. Now, going into Game 3, I hoped the Ducks will attack Talbot more. Not necessarily by shots on goal, but creating havoc, causing problems, getting annoying in front of him in the net. Corey Perry, we are calling to you. We need you to become a pest. We need you to get into Talbot's face, hit him around a little bit, give him a stick tap, get into his head, because we're going to need him off his game if we're going to get some goals and take Game 3 and put the pressure back on Edmonton instead of coming back to Anaheim for Game 5 tied 2-2. So I want to hear from you guys. What do you guys think about Games 1 and 2 so far in this series? Do you feel like the Ducks still have a chance to come back and win this series? Do you think they're going to go into Edmonton and take Game 3 and 4, bring it back to Anaheim 2-2? Or do you feel like this is just delaying the inevitable and they might as well just get swept? Leave a comment down below. Go ahead and like the video and subscribe. And be on the lookout for my Game 3 recap coming out either Sunday night or early Monday morning. And remember, people, keep painting it orange out there. And I'll see you next time.